So right after you eat these meals, you have energy. But the energy lasts a very short period of time, and you're hungry much sooner. And then you have to eat again, and then you have to eat again, and then you have to eat again.
It is a lot cheaper to go eat fast food. I mean, definitely, you can buy a hamburger for cheaper than you can buy an apple.
That's very sad, because you're telling me I have to pay more in order to eat healthy, and I can pay less in order to get fat and to make you rich, or for something that I might die off of.
It's unbelievable.
The poorest people in our country are the fattest people. We've done something completely wrong here.
On a Sunday afternoon in a New Orleans suburb, the Bucktown Seafood Festival is getting underway. Bucktown is a tiny fishing village that has been here for more than 150 years. It was almost completely destroyed by Hurricane Katrina in 2005, but it hasn't lost its touch for what it does best.
Food is a big part of the culture in New Orleans, and they tend to use a lot of deep-fried foods and heavy sauces. They'll tell you that while people in other places may eat to live, here they actually live to eat.
With New Orleans, most of our food begins with what we call a roux. And a roux is a combination of flour and oil. And that's the basis for most of our sauces. And as a result, there's a lot of fat that's in the basic foods that we make, from the soups, the gumbos, to your etouffees.
How important is food to the culture down here?
It's what we live off of. Without, you take the food away and this city would die. It would. It's all about food and drink around here. You know, the certain way we do seafood, you know, the certain way we fry. I mean, like these guys behind us, the way they fry, the way we take whole onions and, you know, we fry all kinds of stuff and make it taste good with the extra spice and throw it the extra kick.
That can't be good for you.
Nah, it can't be, but it sure tastes good.
Have you ever seen anyone eat one of those?
You know, when I was younger, I used to be able to eat one. I couldn't touch a half of one now. It's a big sandwich.
The high-fat, deep-fried food culture here is delicious, but has deadly consequences.
Look at our diabetes and high blood pressure and heart disease. Like, these are major killers.
This is the signature Burger King store in Times Square, New York. This particular meal has somewhere around 3,600 calories. Look at this. It would take around 18 hours of exercise to burn off this many calories.
We are up against an incredible enemy, for lack of a better word. You know, fast food industry makes money.
The food that you put in your body can either heal you or kill you.
On a Saturday morning, the Ward 8 Farmers Market is a small oasis in an otherwise barren food landscape.
Know what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Lauren Vanderpool, a Washington, D.C. native and vegan chef, is giving a demonstration, teaching residents how to make a raw food salad.
So, you know, this is a raw food dish, and now raw foods are good because when you cook your foods, a lot of times the enzymes and the nutrients are released into the water.
I was born in Washington, D.C. I was raised in a food desert, you know, and people just don't know. People just don't know. They haven't been exposed. They haven't left Southeast.
We're done!
They're used to what they've been exposed to. And what they've been exposed to is liquor stores, corner stores, and carryouts. Chicken wings with mumbo sauce, hot chips with blue juices. If all else fails you and you can't find the small jugs of the blue juice, we always have access to the gallon of the blue juice.
Look at that. So that's a gallon of blue juice.
Snow Mountain. Ridiculous.
Artificially colored and artificially flavored. How would you describe the health of people who live in environments like this?
Where we are right now in D.C., which is Southeast, Ward 8, is statistically the most obese place in the country. There's something wrong with that being in the nation's capital, something extremely wrong with that. What I find is that when you're eating foods and there are no nutrients in it, you're going to want to eat more because your body is not recognizing the nutrients that you're needing. So you're going to keep on eating. Your body's intelligence says, well, let me keep on eating to try to get some of these nutrients, but you're not getting any of it because you're eating fried foods, you're eating dead foods, you're eating foods that have no life.
The U.S. government says the current generation could be the first in history to have a shorter lifespan than their parents. The forces driving the obesity spike in America may be complex, but they're not unknown. The question is, who's profiting from the current situation? Clearly, not the children.
I think it comes down to money, and I think it's a complicated, multi-layered problem, and I think it's something that's perpetuated itself throughout the years, especially for people of color. To be in a very poor urban area is not exactly a choice. Your money dictates that you need to live there. And the same thing with what you buy to eat. You buy within your means.
The economics of our food structure are completely working against public health. I mean, you almost couldn't have designed a worse environment where you take your least healthy products, things that are high in sugar and fat and salt and highly processed, and you make them significantly less expensive than your most healthy products.
And a lot of families are just in that financial situation where cheap food is so heavily subsidized, so falsely inexpensive, that they just don't know any better, you know? And I tell you, once they find out what we've done with their food system, what we're doing to their children, hopefully they'll be up in arms about it.
Simple rule of modern eating. Fatty foods in huge portions are bad for you. But you're about to enter a dietary twilight zone, a restaurant that makes the potentially harmful nature of its food a selling point. Its name, get this, the Heart Attack Grill. And they do bring a certain whimsical comedy to serving up giant versions of meals that have been American favorites for generations. But as Ryan Owen explains, beyond the comedy are some very real health concerns.
The restaurant has become a bit of a national sensation.
I'm up another few inches.
In no small part thanks to this very big man, Blair River, the so-called spokesmodel of the Heart Attack Grill, featured in a series of tongue-in-cheek commercials that have gone viral.
I'm at 570 pounds, 6'8", yeah. So.
We met Blair in January. Back then, he told us one of the perks of the job is eating free. Anyone who is over 350 pounds doesn't have to pay.
I'm big, you know what I mean? And so why not? I don't eat here every day, so why not have fun with it and go with it as long as I can?
Sadly, we now know how long that was. Blair died last week at the age of 29. His family says the cause of death was pneumonia. The CDC says every year, 112,000 deaths can be linked to obesity. A week after Blair's untimely death, the Heart Attack Grill has another spokesmodel.
Here you go.
Ernie Hart. Yes, that's his real last name. And yes, he is chowing down on a quadruple bypass.
Even though my cardiologist and my wife tell me not to come, and after surviving a coma and multiple heart surgeries, I still come. I enjoy the burgers.
Ernie was actually the spokesperson before Blair, but had to take a few months off after open heart surgery.
From baby, that's the taste that's worth dying for.
Now Blair is dead, and Ernie's back. The fact that you stuffed him full of burgers for free as often as he wanted, what share of the responsibility do you have for his death?
The equal share with anybody who provided junk food to anybody.
Aren't you glorifying obesity, which obviously kills?
Absolutely. I think it would be immoral to stop at this point.
Explain that to me.
We're past the point of no return at the Heart Attack Grill. We have blood on our hands at this point.
This season on Too Fat for 15 Fighting Back.
It's an addiction. Like, we just never can stop eating, and if we try to, we just eat again.
I like to eat things that I like. And when I like something, I eat a lot of it.
Whenever I had something like on my mind or something, I wouldn't talk to my mom, I wouldn't talk to anybody, I would eat.
And I ate so much of it that it just got out of control.
We're definitely facing a time bomb, and it's already exploded. There are 75 million kids in the United States today. 25 million are overweight or obese.
These kids have tried everything, and nothing has worked for them.
Wellspring's about getting kids to make choices that are healthier and constructive rather than destructive.
Well, I want my daughter to live.
My heart breaks.
This is just your starting weight.
I know I had something to do with it.
Good. Dan, get up! Get up!
This is pretty much my last resort.
I mean, we were telling her, Emily, you're going to die.
You stop?
No.
Then please go outside.
I will.
Oh! Ow! Do you trust me?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get up and go to school. He doesn't want to, I don't want to say lazy because that's not the right term, but he doesn't want to be around anyone.
In school, I got picked on a lot. It felt like they didn't even want me there, and it got to the point where I didn't even want to go.
He went from being a straight A student to flunking, and he is a very intelligent young man.
Whenever I had something like on my mind or something, I wouldn't talk to my mom, I wouldn't talk to anybody, I would eat. And that kind of was my place to run, was to eat. And then my dad passed away whenever I was 13, and I ate whenever I thought about it, and I didn't want to think about it, so all I did was eat.
All right, so tune in for me, guys. Tune in. You're gonna run all the way down there. You're gonna go up a slight hill. With Plant, you turn around and you come meet me back on the bridge over there, and I will tell you what your time was. Do I expect you guys to run the entire time? If you can run the entire time, I want you to run the entire time. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. 15:49, very good. Yeah, I've seen Scott coming around the corner right there, and he's hobbling a little bit. It's really hard to tell. Oh, he's running.
Doing awesome.
No problem, Scott. 26:07. Very good, bud.
I'm very proud.
And this week, 343.5. Good job.
My goals are basically to get down to 250 pounds at least. It's still not a healthy weight, but it's a very good goal for here. And then just to keep, working on it, and eventually, within a year or two, to be 150 pounds again.
Good morning, Emily. This week, 196.5. Good job.
When I first came here, I was really upset. I just wanted to go home, and then, I started realizing this is just for the good. Once I just started losing weight, that was worth it.
Any guesses? No, you can just get on. Okay. 225.5. Yeah.
I'm proud of myself. My self-esteem is better. I used to look in the mirror and just for a good 2 seconds and then just leave. But now I can stand in the mirror for hours.
Good morning, Tanisha. Do you need a hand? Okay. I'm gonna be really still because this scale floats all over the place.
I just try to stay calm and hope for a good number.
476.
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah.
really good. Congratulations.
I'm starting to feel the difference. It's wow, it's actually happening. It's a great feeling.